In this video, I'm doing another product review. This time, I'm actually re-reviewing the Epic Extender. So this is a brand new review starting from scratch because last time I checked it out, I did not like it. But turns out that I actually missed a couple of key upgrades in the extender, and I'll go through the detail as to what I missed in the first review. So I'll go ahead, check it out, review it, go do it through a product overview. I'll go ahead and compare it with the Epic Extender. This is the Epic Extender V5, well, the Best Extender Pro. So I know a lot of people are confused, like what is the difference between the two of these and blah blah blah. So
same but different.
I'll go ahead and show you what the differences are. I'll also do a comparison with brief comparison with the Hog Extender and how does it compare with that, and why ultimately I think this might be a very good beginner extender after all.
Thanks, noob. This guy gets it.
But I still think there could be some improvements to be made, or basically I think whether I think the Best Extender is better or the Epic Extender, and we'll figure all that confusion out in this video. So it's going to be a very short review, but hopefully very interesting and informative. And before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's a small thing for you, but for me it means a lot. It really helps me stay motivated, and the more subscribers that I get, the more motivated and the more devices that I get to try out and I give you free reviews for. As always, I'm not doing this for money. I'm not getting commission.
I love this game.
This was sent to me for free by Basim, and spoiler alert, there's actually a coupon code that you can use to get the maximum discount, because I get zero commission. I'm not interested in money, but I am interested in giving you the absolutely maximum discount. So go ahead and check that out. It's going to be in the description below. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So just so you don't have to watch the other video, I'll do a quick product overview. So you don't have to watch the original review. So this is the Epic Extender. The beauty of it, or at least the selling point of it, is that it's perfect for newbies because you can basically get the entire kit, the entire dick kit here, which is different sort of versions of it. There's the one with the starter kit, there's the intermediate kit, which includes the all-day stretcher, and the advanced, which I guess includes the pump. I would like to see a package, I guess, that includes both the ADS and the pump. I think that would be interesting. Now, if you're a newbie, without looking at the prices, I think the best bet is to go with the intermediate. Just check out this video on the Hog Extender routine. I'm going to make a similar video for the Epic Extender, but it's essentially the same thing. Having the all-day stretcher is super, I would say it really can maximize your results. So the beauty of it here is that unlike something like the Hog Extender, is that the Hog stretcher is like, with the Hog, you have to get the extender, which is $94, but then you also have to get like cups and silicone sleeves. But these cups and silicone sleeves are, I would just say, they're garbage. Like these sleeves are garbage. I've used them before. They're the cheap, like Chinese, the Chinese ones that you can get from like AliExpress and stuff. They're just not good in my opinion, especially when compare them to like the premium cups, like the Epic cups or the Tournament cups, which are like the top of the line, or the best in the game, which is the LG Hanger chamber. But again, I think if you're just getting started, you don't want to get something too cheap. So that's kind of like the advantage here, is that you get everything in one package, right? But if you're looking at the extender itself, you're comparing it with the Hog Extender, which is $94, and the Epic is $179. So there is quite a difference, and I'll go ahead and show you what the differences are in terms of like the actual extender itself and the mechanisms, and I'll let you decide whether you wanna use that or not. And basically, it's $179, just the extender by itself, or you can get the whole pack. But in this review, I'm focusing only on the extender itself. I'm not gonna go through that. So essentially, if you're comparing extender with extender, it's $179. I'll put out a different video, so watch out for the video. Should already be up, where I'm reviewing the new all-day stretcher, and then I'm gonna make a different video when I review the cups. Spoiler alert, I love the cups. That's the cups that I use every day, minus one little thing which I hate. Which, watch the video why I say that. In spite of that, I still use it. I think if you want to get the whole package, if you're a newbie, this is a good way to go. But yeah, stay tuned for the whole review. So with that being said, let's go ahead and actually review and compare the product. All right, so here we go. So this is the Epic Extender. It's actually nice and compact. You'll see it in comparison to the Best Extender. Before we we actually do a product review, one thing that I forgot to mention is talk about the Best Extender V5, also known as the Epic Classic. So for the purposes of this video, I will be calling it the Best Extender V5. It's an evolution, obviously the fifth version of the Best Extender, but they're calling it the Epic Classic, which I honestly kind of think it's a branding mistake. I don't know what Basim's plan is when it comes to branding, but I have seen it cause a lot of confusion with people because they don't know what the differences are and all that. So the extender for that one is 179, so the exact same as the Epic Extender. So
Same, but different.
when it comes to price, they're essentially the same, but I'll show you exactly what the key differences are. All right, so with that being said, let's look at the Epic Extender. So it's quite compact. Give you kind of a brief overview and talk about the things that I missed last time. So it has a very comfortable base. I talked about that in my last review. The base is super comfortable, so it's quite durable. Some of the things that has evolved are like this thing actually holds a little bit better, which is great, very smooth. I like the way that this swivels. It's not too hard, not too soft. Like I find it very easy to basically extend downwards. It's also the base is ergonomic, so you can see like when you extend downwards, it gives your dick a little bit more room here to basically lay on. So it has like a little groove here. I believe that's standard, and we'll compare it right now with the Best Extender. That's kind of an addition. I think the first time I saw it was in the Apex, I believe. But super comfortable. It has this thing, and I like this how it swivels and easy to lay down. So the thing that I complained about last time was that you have the pounds here, the pounds measurements here in this rods, and then you have kilograms, but by default it comes with kilograms, and I'm a lazy American, goddammit. I did not want to take a fucking Allen wrench and switch everything. That was one of my complaints. The second complaint was when you're using like the Epic cups. When you're using the Epic cups, it was really hard to snap it into place, and it was like fucking, you had to use a lot of force, and when this thing is strapped to your dick, using a lot of force. Just FYI, I am not using the Epic sleeves. I'm coming out with a review for those. It's just that it's not perfectly sized for like what the ones that I use. I use 1.25, and those are not available, so I'll try to see if I like one works for me. So anyways, I'll come up with a review for those later. So but it's gonna be essentially the same. Like, you mind, I've been doing girth work for a long time, so most of the people, the sizes that they give in the site will work perfectly fine. So I'm sure like a 1 will work for me. I just haven't tried it. In any case, just kind of FYI, when you use the cups, right, like you put it in here, and it was really hard, and it was like really not obvious how you had to put it in. So that was like the biggest problem, is how hard you had to push it in. But what happened is that I missed, and actually Basim told me this, I just missed it in this message and I missed it in my review, is that they caught that after they sent like the first few shipments, and they basically gave those customers a free bar essentially here. So this is this bar, this whatever this is called, but they give this one for free. If you had the old version where it was like really hard to push in, just contact them and they'll send one for free. So they sent me one for free. Got the extender for free as well. So this new version is much better. It fixes the issue. Now it's so much easier to put in, right? It's so much easier, so it fixes that issue. One thing that I did have to do is I had to take the Allen wrench and essentially go through the process of switching out this bar, and then at the same time I switched the default so that the ones that face up, right, because when you put it on, the base has to face up. The default should be pounds, at least for me. I switched it, so now it's the default was pounds. I'll go ahead and link the video where Basim shows you how to do that. It's an unlisted video, so I'll go ahead and I'll list it down below so that you can see how to switch it. But it was fairly easy, and the tools are included with the actual package. It was very easy. So one thing that I really is like the pounds when you screw it. So basically the way that it works, a lot of people get confused. I don't know why, but like the way that you use it is you put on you obviously put on the cup on your dick. You put the dick either through the base, which it's, to me, my dick is a little bit too thick, so I had to always like feed it from the bottom, which it is what it is. And you put it in, and then you have to turn the knobs at the same time such that they're at the same line essentially at all times. A lot of people get super confused about this. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. So anyways, that's how you use it. What I really like is that the numbers don't turn around. So I'll show you what that means. Super compact. So with that being said, let's go ahead and compare it with the Best Extender 5 or the Epic Classic. So this is the Best Extender 5, the Epic Classic. One of the things that the big differences is that the Epic Extender is supposed to be modular, so you can swap out the rods. Hopefully you can swap out like the base, but you can probably swap out the base. Like, I would love a fully closed version. That's just my own personal preference. So it's also, look at the size difference. Because it's compact, it's a little bit more easier to wear. This one is, let me actually get a measuring tape. So the Epic is about about 11.5 inches, and the Best Extender 5 is about 14 inches. Right, so the Epic class is way longer, as you can see. Also, it seems a little bit, well, let's measure how wide it is. Should be the same. So it says about a little bit over 3 inches, and it's about the same. So width-wise is exactly the same. That's one of the big differences. Other big differences from this one, the Epic, is that with the Epic, you have to use the Epic cups. You cannot use, at least for the best comfort, you cannot use the other cups. Now there's this little hook in the back, and actually something I checked with the Basim, with the product makers, to see how it works, but you could essentially also attach it to the back here, like here essentially, and use that, and that could work. Like, this is the Total Man cup, by the way, but it's just not the same. It's just kind of like at a weird angle, but you could use it if worse comes to worse. It does support it, but by the best support is obviously for the Epic cups, because it goes where it's intended to be, which is like straight in the middle. Just kind of FYI is it has limited support for other types of cups, like the Total Man cups. So it's meant for like the Pennymaster Pro style cups, which has this little thing, which, by the way, I love. Like, I talked about this, and I'm gonna do a review on it, but I talked about it, I think, in my Best Extender, I forgot which video. I'll link it here, I'll look it up. But I love the way that this bundle mechanism, so you can basically very easily kind of twist the penis. Now, if you're a newbie, I don't suggest that you twist it, but it's so easy. I love it, and it just like kind of locks into place. It's really cool. So it has that. With the Best Extender, you have to use like this little adapter here. So essentially, if you have the Epic cup, you got to put in this little adapter that comes with it. You got to use some force, and then you can use that. But one of my complaints here about the cups is that when you're putting it on, and then you're kind of taking it off, sometimes you hit this like little valve at the top, right? Because you're kind of like pushing it down, because like you want to take it off and you want to release some tension and then take it off, or you want to put it on. Actually, if you want to put it on and then you accidentally hit this valve, I absolutely hate this valve. I don't see the point for it, because I just hate it. So I found it kind of like sometimes I would hit this valve when I'm using it, and that would be kind of annoying. I just had to like use the pump again to create the negative pressure there. So that was kind of one of the annoying thing. The other annoying thing that I found is that when you have it on, right, and you have like a lot of tension and you want to take a break, right, you have to kind of like put it down and you take it off. That's easy enough, but then like to put it on, it's not as easy, because you're gonna have to like hold it down, right? Like if you do one side, it's not like, you kind of have to figure out how to hold it, right? It's not as easy, and then you have to sort of like guide it into place. That's what it's a lot easier obviously than the last version, but it is kind of a not with like, let's say that you're using the adapter here, and you're using like this hook, the hook style one. When you push it down, it's a lot easier just to like push it down and then put it on, whereas this is just a little bit more fiddling when you're using, like when you're under tension and you take a break and you want to put it back on. But I found that using the hook one is a lot easier for me. But again, using the Epic cups, using this hook, it's kind of annoying, because sometimes it'll hit it and it'll release the pressure, but I still prefer it. Like even with that, like I still think the Epic one is a lot easier. Just under your tension, you push it down and then you put it on the hook. It's a lot easier than like pushing it down and then you put it on. It's just a little bit more awkward and stuff. Not a deal breaker, but it is a little bit more awkward. Just makes me I still prefer the hook. My personal thing is like, I really love this little adapter, right? And then I use this, and then you kind of get the best of both worlds, where you have the super easy bundling, the super easy twisting essentially, and the easy application of the hook. If only this damn release valve wasn't here. Other things that are different is that, again, like with the Best Extender V5 or the Epic Classic, you have the bundle knob here, the twisting, so you have to twist this part to like twist the penis essentially, or like you say you have the cup on, so you have it on, or you want to put it on at an angle, the certain rotation, degrees of rotation, you have to use this bundle knob, and that's what it's for, right? Whereas but really, if you have the little adapter, and that's only necessary if you're using something like the Total Man cups, right, that don't have this little adapter. So if you're using the Total Man cups, then you have to do that. But if you're using like the Epic cups with the adapter, you don't have to mess with the bundle knob, because this little adapter automatically, basically, you just kind of like push it up and then like twist it, and then it locks into place. Just kind of FYI, this little hook is mostly, and the little bundle knob is mostly if you're using something like the Total Man cups, which are still great. They're still really, really good. So those are the differences. The other main difference is the way that the numbers are. So notice here, like, right when you twist it, the numbers turn, and then like they kind of get buried, where here it's inverted. Okay, here notice how it's inverted. When you twist it, it kind of goes up, so it goes into it. So you see the knobs, essentially you have to turn them at the same time, and as you have tension, basically this gets buried. And this is the opposite, so this is kind of like the numbers get buried, like the top part gets buried to the bottom, whereas this like the basically here the top goes into the bottom, and here basically the bottom goes into the top. So it's a little difficult to explain, but hopefully visually you can sort of see the differences here, right? You can see the differences there. One thing I really like about the Epic extender is how the numbers don't move, right? You basically twisting it, you're twisting it, and they stay static. I love that. Actually, I wish that this mechanism here of the rod system was into the Epic. I honestly kind of think they should merge it. I think that they should merge the models and just have one, I think, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't know. I think they probably have better insights. But if I were to kind of like get the best of both worlds, I still prefer the hook, okay, just because it's easier to sort of put in. I prefer the hook with the little adapter. It would be perfect if they remove the valve, but I still prefer the hook. Okay, you prefer the hook, and I really like the Epic, so I would like put the hook here and make that like the default. So, but the main difference is how compact this is, and how basically this is meant to be for the Epic products, right? Whereas this is a little bit more versatile, it's more cumbersome. But I think like that's like you're not gonna be walking around with something like this, and it's not like a huge deal. Also, the way that this twist is a little bit more rigid. It might have been just my model, so it was a little bit more rigid. The base is exactly the same, so there's no differences there. That's like sort of like the big difference. Notice how like the numbers essentially turn, and that's kind of, it's a little annoying, not a deal breaker, but it is annoying. So how does it compare with the Hog? So this is the Hog, right, which is I think $95. I showed you in the product overview. So some things, I'll go back to just compare. I'll have a separate review for the Best Extender 5, the Epic Classic, so I'll talk more about that separately there. But basically, it's very similar. You have the bundle knob here, right? But then this whole mechanism is separate. The numbers, this cheaper for a reason, right? Cheaper for a reason. This whole mechanism is kind of like separate, right? And the things kind of fall apart. So you kind of like, not fall apart, they just like separate, right? So you have to kind of like be careful and put it all back in there. And otherwise it's the same mechanism where the top goes into the bottom. That's essentially the same. That's the numbers are, I think, a little bit clearer on the Epic, and of course the Hog is a lot bigger. Comfort wise, I think they're exactly the same. I'll give the slight edge to the Epic just because I like the base a little bit better. But the Hog is still cheaper. It's versatile. It's not as ergonomic, and you can use the Total Man cups, or you can use the Epic cups with the little adapter here. So I think it's your call. If you're a brand new person, I think the Hog is still like a decent option. Check out this video where I do like a review of the Hog, and I have another video where I do like a routine for the Hog. But the Epic Classic is solid if you don't want to be ordering those cheap Chinese cups, which like this is also made in China, but it's a lot better quality, and you don't want to be fiddling around with a bunch of different products. I think that getting the Epic as a kid is solid. It's a solid device. I think that again, if it's perfect, it's a lot better for newbies. But I think overall I still would prefer like the hook. Just my personal preference, I prefer the hook, and I really love that the numbers stay into place. So that's basically kind of a comparison between the Epic. So there you go. So hopefully that gives you an idea as to which one you want to choose. I think it's ultimately a matter of preference. I would be happy with either one. Like if I was just starting, like when I got started, none of this was possible. So this is still a solid device, and I think now we're getting to the point where there's just super minor differences, and kind of got a little spoiled, to be quite honest. So solid device. They fixed this, which made it much easier. I wish there was a way where to switch to pounds by default without having to take it apart, and I think that would be my gripe. So my two gripes honestly is like, I kind of still prefer the hook, but that's a personal preference. I wish I could have gotten to default by pounds by default, or much easier way to switch between the two. But otherwise, I love that they stay in the same place. I really love that. So stay tuned. I'll do a separate review for the Best Extender 5. So overall, it's a solid device. I would say much better. I think it kind of redeemed itself, right? Because like I was super harsh in the last review, so definitely redeemed itself. So I think I don't think you can go wrong, especially with the Epic cups, which are also pretty good. So it's a solid device. I think you have to make the call whether I think it's comparable to the Hog still. But the hog, obviously, you saw it you saw it, right? I've seen people get confused how to use it because like the parts move and stuff like that. So I think if you want less of a headache, a slightly better support and all that, you probably want to get the stuff from the Epic. I think it's a good newbie device overall. There you go. I'm getting to the point where these devices are pretty solid. Not much I can sort of complain about. I still think I think the branding is a little bit awkward and weird, and I would love to see like a merged version, or I'm not sure what the plan is. That's kind of like a different discussion. So hopefully this cleared up some key differences between the Epic Classic, the Best Extender V5, help you make that decision. With that being said, let's move on to our final thoughts. And there you go. So nice and quick and dirty comparison. Hopefully that cleared up some of the confusion, which even I got confused as to what are the differences between the Best Extender and the Epic Extender and blah blah blah. What should I get? I'm a newbie. I don't know.
Same, but different.
I don't know. So hopefully I cleared up some things, let you decide, let you make up your own mind. So apologies, I did miss that the first time in the first review, just kind of FYI. I think still a solid device overall. So hopefully kind of redeemed itself, I would say. In any case, I have some fire reviews coming up. So I have the brand new Restorex Comfort Grip. This is it. You see it attached. So I've been using it. I have a lot of thoughts on it. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I think it's going to be a very in-depth review, especially because the Restorex was near and dear to my heart, and it still is. I think it's still a great device. In any case, check that out. I also have a lot of nice spicy content, so I'll tell you all about how I basically had sex with my girlfriend right after pumping, and it was crazy because she wanted to try it out just to see. That was kind of a wild story. I'm probably cooked, honestly, after that. I don't know how I can do it without pumping. So anyway, that was very, very interesting. Check that out. Also, don't forget that there's discount codes, particularly for the Best Extender, and I have more discount codes. So just as always, check out the description for all the discount codes. Again, zero commission. I don't get anything, so don't worry about it. I don't use affiliate links. This discount code has the maximum amount of discount just for you guys, so because I get zero commission. So I'm also going to have a lot more content in regards to the Best Extender and the Epic Extender, tutorials, routines, and all that stuff, because it's a popular device, so I want to make sure that I can make content for the viewers out there. I'm also going to come out with a pumping routine. So if you're interested in any of those videos, if you want me to focus on anything in particular, just go ahead and comment below. And don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and check out this other video, which I picked with my mind to make sure that it's relevant to you. And I'll see you next time. Peace.